back to numbers and earnings now. Of course, NBCC came out with fourth quarter numbers earlier. We've got Mr. Anup Kumar Mittal, Chairman and Managing Director of the company, joining in. Sir, you've had a fairly good performance in the last quarter of the year, but there has also been a compression in margins. Can you tell us why?
See, there are 2-3 reasons on the margin issue. There were some, employees benefit, particularly on medical benefit side, which we have booked in this financial year. And another thing was we have paid increment to all the employees after attaining the Navratna status. These are two major issues. Because of that, you are seeing the pressure on our margin side. Otherwise, if you leave all these issues, then margin will be around 25%, will show a growth of 25% from year to year.
So you're saying that the entire 200 basis points hit that we saw in Q4 was because of employee-related expenses. So at the EBITDA level, I'm talking about EBITDA margins, what's a sustainable run rate as you're looking at Q1 and the rest of this year?
You see, EBITDA margin should see a growth of at least 22 to 25% on quarter-to-quarter basis or year-to-year basis.
Sir, can you tell us what your order book position at the end of the year is? I believe it was somewhere around the 38,000 crore rupee mark. If you could just substantiate on that, and what the pipeline is now as we look forward to the year.
You see, at the end of the financial year, our order book was about 36,000 crore rupees, and there are at least 50,000 crore worth of projects in pipeline, which I hope at least 70-80% will secure in this financial year. So by end of this financial year, I am expecting an order book of about 60 to 70,000 crore rupees.
Expecting an order book of 60,000 to 70,000 crore rupees by the end of the fiscal. You earlier told us that in terms of revenue growth rate, you're targeting revenue growth rate in the region of almost 50% if execution of this order book continues at a robust pace. Would you stick to those targets? What's the revenue run rate that you're looking at in FY17?
You see, revenue growth or incremental you are talking will be around 30% in this financial year, which is our estimation, because all these orders which I am talking about will require at least 1 year's time to get all the approvals from the local bodies and our client. So from next year onward, you may see, substantial growth, more than 30% or maybe 50% in revenue side.
Just a breakup of the different segments. Real estate, at least in the quarter gone by, was not looking particularly, impressive for you, though it's a smaller part of the business anyway. But what's the visibility on real estate revenues in Q1 and going forward, and how do you expect your the bread and butter business, the project consultancy business, to shape up?
I tell you frankly, we are not, much in real estate business now. It's about 8 to 10%, and we are targeting similar kind of percentage in revenue side in next 2 to 3 years time. So major focus will be on project management consultancy, and that includes redevelopment of old properties of government or public sector. So you will see 90 to 92% revenue or order book from PMC side.
So 90% of the order book will come in from the PMC side. You're looking at a revenue growth rate of 30% this year. Order book might touch 60,000 to 70,000 crores. So it's looking like a great set, for the year ahead. But let me ask you also about the shareholding and all the talk of the OFS or the government looking at diluting stake in the company. Have you had any such discussions as of now? Is an OFS around the corner?
You see, in the month of maybe September, October, we approved that company require about 1,000 rupees for their business operations in real estate or redevelopment. But in yesterday's meeting, we have withdrawn that proposal. Now we don't need any money and we will not raise any money from market. That is one. As far as government dilution is concerned, of course, they will dilute their stake in this this financial year. But the timing, I don't know. We have not heard anything from government on this.
A, you don't need any further money. You're not raising any money as a company. B, yes, there will be dilution of government stake. Can you give us a sense of how much dilution are we talking about? 5%, 10% equity from your understanding right now?
No, I can't tell you. I don't know. That government has to decide. As owner, they will decide how much they will dilute and when. Timing and percentage they have to decide.
All right, we'll leave it on that note, sir. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate you being with us on the show. That's NBCC looking at some pretty aggressive expansion targets in FY17. We'll wrap up this edition of Business Lunch on that note. Thanks for watching.